Greetings, y'all. It's your Knock Paramount, and welcome back to another Golf Stories podcast. I'm, of course, joined here by PGA Tour caddy, Derell Atten. Derell, what's up? Episode 25, man.
I mean, we're every week, I think it always has its challenges. So this week is another one, but we're getting it in for sure.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, you're up there in Illinois for the John Deere Classic. You're back caddying again. Going to be 4 weeks straight, I think, or something like that for you.
Yep.
We're squeezing it in as we do.
Back at it with G Murray this week, so we'll kind of see how he's definitely looking nice. So we'll get after it and see what we can do this week. But yeah, definitely 4 weeks in a row, and yeah, it's definitely a long stretch. So you got to pace yourself.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, Grayson Murray. I don't know. I don't have him in my picks, but folks, keep them in your thoughts and prayers, I guess you would say. And put a little dollar on G Murray. He has been playing pretty solid lately, despite all the antics on the Sunday of the U.S. Open. He did make it to Sunday at the U.S. Open. I will remind people.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. At the end of the day, like it's playing very so. Getting in the weekend was always a accomplishment.
Yes, indeed. So looking forward to that. But of course, we have reactions from last week. Tough finish to watch because our boy Sahith Theegala at the Travelers Championship, man, 1-shot lead on the final hole. And man, we all know what happened. Double bogeyed after going into the bunker. But of course, one of our favorites, Xander Schauffele comes up the winner at the Travelers. So what you think, Derell? Did you catch any of it?
I mean, I definitely caught the highlights of what happened on Sunday. It's definitely mind-boggling, really, and he's definitely put himself in position to get it done. But just it's crazy because of the last hole. You're never really thinking negatives until they happen, right? So right. I think in his mind, he thought like, oh, there's no issue, nothing at all, and sometimes you have to look at the bigger picture, but who knows? He could have stuffed it and, made birdie. But again, definitely Xander playing behind him definitely made it easier to do what he did, seeing what's going on in front of him. So again, tough. But at the end of the day, I think a player like him, you see him back up, climbing leaderboards. And I think eventually he's going to get it done anyway.
Yeah, he's been putting himself there consistently. Of course, at Phoenix, bad break on the 17th hole, and then here. I mean, you keep putting yourself there. Eventually, you would think it's gonna happen. He's too talented of a guy not to make it happen. But of course, Xander. I mean, he's a well-deserving winner. He was the leader after 54, I believe, and has been knocking on the door for the last few years for an individual PGA Tour title. Obviously, he's got the Olympics last year and then the team title this year at the Zurich. But any thoughts on Xander and his play?
I think, again, it's just he put himself, the first 2 days early, put himself up there. At the end of the day, I think he's very well rounded in his game. So he just kind of let the guys fall to him, and he just kind of played steady and got the job done.
Yes, indeed. The Zandman, cometh the Zandman, take it away. A few other contenders that were up there. Michael Thorborson, I hope I pronounced that right, amateur contending. He was up there for a little bit, then faltered in the early back nine, but it was really cool to see. As far as I think you did get your picks in too last week. I saw KH Lee up there for a little bit, and I got excited.
I know.
Yeah, so again, falling short, but Sandman was on the mine, and Sahith Theegala was on the mine. We didn't pick him, but shout out to them, of course. Great weeks. JT Poston with the second place also with Sahith. Any of the other contenders that stuck out to you? Chesson Hadley, 64 in the last day. Got a top 5.
I mean, there's last week there are some guys that you haven't seen. Like, I mean, Will McGirt, top 10, and at the end of the day, like he's been working hard in his game, and so that's the thing with. It's crazy. You never know. Any week could be a good week.
Yeah, build that rhythm up. Kevin Kisner, he got a top 10. He hasn't really been. He's been kind of quiet, which is interesting because he does like to talk, and big fan favorite.
His type of caliber for sure.
Yeah, and but I mean, short course, birdie fest. He took advantage of it. Ches Reavie got top 10. John Huh, almost a top 10. I'll give him a shout out because I was thinking for him for the John Deere pick. I didn't pick him on my picks, but I just want to give him a shout because he has been playing low key solid. But yeah, another solid week at the Travelers Championship. 1 week at the U.S. Open, the perfect tournament to follow up. Such a brutal test. Rory was up there in the first round and then just inexplicably blew up on that second round, the back nine there. It's crazy to see. But any last things for the Travelers Championship?
I mean, tough not being there for me on my end, but again, always look forward to next year and just moving on and definitely try to take care of business here at the JDC.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So closing books on the Travelers. Yeah. So Sahith Theegala, man. Just keep putting yourself there, man. Yeah, it's gonna happen. This, what's it called? Tough times don't last, but tough people do. And a player of his talents is definitely going to get it done. Hopefully, this coming up week, maybe. And speaking of this coming up week, as you just mentioned, the JDC, the John Deere Classic, as we keep talking about. There's the background. Boom, got a little tractor with the golf ball going on, the John Deere logo. Yep, Quad City Classic, as some might say. The Zach Johnson and Steve Stricker Invitational. People, because they got like 5 or 6 wins together on this course in this tournament. And of course, Derell, like we said, you're there. You're on site at TBC Deer Run. It always does look pure on TV. What can you tell us about it? It's a birdie fest normally.
I mean, this is my 4th time here. It's honestly, I think the best condition I've seen it in since I've been here. They've made a couple of changes on the golf course, so nothing too crazy. But again, typically a birdie fest here. Different types of players win here, so that's the beauty. Is I think everybody's kind of involved when it comes to winning here. But we'll try to take care of business this week.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Pretty, like, it seems like a pretty standard Midwestern course. Does look beautiful. Does look pure. Some history lessons for folks over there. Paul Goydo shot a 59 here back in 2010. I know Tiger, it wasn't at this course, but in 96, his rookie year, lost one of his few losses during his younger days to Ed Fury. I believe he had a 54-hole lead and ended up losing to Ed Fury in 1996 at the Quad City Classic. And like we just mentioned, Zach Johnson and Steve Stricker always wins here, seemingly. Last year's winner was Lucas Glover. Was firing on all cylinders coming down the stretch, I do recall. And he actually made some putts for once using that little arm lock putter. So what's the conditions like right now? You said it's pure. Is it going to be good weather?
Pure. It's on the softer side.
Okay.
Compared to what it typically is, but it's Monday and Tuesday, and as the week goes on, I think they definitely will get it firm. It's a week earlier, I believe, this year, so I think from a weather standpoint, it makes it a little bit better, as crazy as it sounds. Mm-hmm. So by having it a week earlier, it's not as scorching hot, but it's still going to be in the 90s as turn time and as the week goes. So, but at the end of the day, it's all good, and you expect that typically coming here, so you just have to embrace it in a sense.
Yes, indeed. It's relatively flat. It looks on TV, at least. Is that say so in person?
There's a couple holes that have more elevation than you think. It's actually from a caddy perspective, it's a decent walk. Okay. So definitely the TV will do it justice when it shows some of the elevation stuff.
Gotcha. And I guess as far as, like you said, a number of different golfers win here. I guess what's premium here? I guess approach shot play, and then obviously getting hot with the putter.
I think. I mean, I don't even think you have to get hot with the putter. I think typically the guys that win here just hit a lot of greens and have a lot of looks. I mean, when you see a guy like Lucas, he just ball struck it to death and had a bunch of looks. And again, not the best putter, but then you see a guy that's not very long and just be precise in a lot of greens, like with Stricker.
So as far as the rough goes and everything, like, I don't think there's too much rough on the course and anything like that. Obviously, it does help to hit the fairways, but Birdie Fest delight out there. Looking forward to it. Guess it's time for me to go ahead and make my picks. Derell won't be making his picks because he is working the event. So for me, I guess let's see. I'll go ahead and choose my dark horse, starting with a guy who has actually had a kind of a weird year this year. He has 2 top 10s and the rest are missed cuts. But he does have 2 other top 10s in the past at this event. Mr. Andrew Landry, 250 to 1. So he's only played, I think, 9 events or something like that. I'm guessing he's been out with injury or something. But yeah, he has been. 2 top 10s in the fall, and then the rest have been missed cuts. And he just recently came back last week after like a 2-month hiatus. So, like we've said, you don't have to be the longest player. Generally, he hits a lot of greens when he's on. Of course, he's missed a lot of cuts in a row. So I'm going to try to get his trend started here. 250 to 1. So he's a long shot, but I just couldn't resist to pick a random golfer in the sea of odds.
Love it.
Yes.
Good call there.
Yes, indeed. Andrew Landry. He does that interesting move, kind of a David Duval-esque, kind of eliminates one side of the golf course. I remember him talking about that in a video. He was talking about his swing. So, yeah, I'm going to go with him. He's got a couple wins and contended at the 2016 U.S. Open. So kind of a grinder as well.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so shout out to Andrew Landry. That's my dark horse pick. For my contender pick, I will say that this field is relatively wide open. Not a lot of top players playing this week. So, pick of the litter as far as who you want to go with. You can go young guys, you can go old vets, and any which way you want to look at it. I'm going to go for my contender pick, a guy that has actually won here. He's kind of actually, I guess you would say, in the between that. He's kind of in the prime of his career. South African Dylan Fratelli. A guy who's been working on kind of that Bryson plan, that extra speed work as far as trying to increase speed and hit it longer. University of Texas guy, had won here in 2019, I believe, for his first and only PGA Tour win. Has had an okay season. I think he's 106 on the FedEx Cup ranking this year. So kind of a inconsistent year. Did contend in Valero. I think he's just going to ride off the good momentum from 2019. And, it's always nice to come back to a place that you won before.
Yep. No, I definitely like that pick for sure.
Yeah. And as far as his odds, what is he at? I believe he's like 60 to 1, 65 to 1. So Dylan Fratelli is my contender pick. The reason I said also earlier, John Huh, he's 60 to 1. John Huh, they believe in him here. I was kind of surprised he's got such high picks. I mean, he's actually at a decent 99. Yeah, 99 on the FedEx Cup ranking so far this year. So I guess they're seeing something that other folks aren't. But shout out to him. I think I was tempted to go with their good feelings as well with my contender pick. But yeah, shout out to John Huh. And as far as my winner pick, I'm just gonna do it, Derell. I'm gonna pick Sahith. I know he's had a disappointing week last week, but I'm gonna go with the Kyle Stanley type of action where collapse.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say right now.
Yeah, collapse the week before, redemption the next week. This place got a lot of first-time winners. Spieth, DeChambeau, the recent ones that come to mind. So why not Sahith? Michael Kim. Sean O'Hare back in the day. So I know Sahith is trying to be rookie of the year. This definitely, he needs probably a win to get it done as far as that. Why not here? I mean, this is a place you can go low and he's got all the tools. So why not? I'm going to ride the hot hand with Sahith Theegala. 22 to 1.
Let's go. Love it.
Yeah. Plus, look, we've been riding him. I would say we've been very helpful in pushing the momentum for him. We've been on him since the beginning of the year before anyone knew who he was. So
yeah, without a doubt. I agree.
We're here for it, Sahith. Some names that are in the field: Jason Day, one of my picks last week, and hopefully he can get out of his rut. Webb Simpson is the highest favored guy, 10-1 odds. I can see him contending. Just been struggling lately because of injuries and whatnot. But yeah, open season this week as far as the John Deere. Grayson Murray, your boy's 100-1, by the way. So the odds are decent. Hey, put your bottom dollar on them, folks at home. Grayson Murray. Yeah, that's those are my picks for the John Deere Classic. Yeah. And, do you want to talk about PJ Tour and LIV some more? It's LIV's second event this week in Portland, Pumpkin Ridge.
I know it's definitely. I mean, from my end, it's just kind of exciting to see what they're gonna do, and what the PGA Tour and what LIV does to match each other, blow by blow, basically. So it's definitely exciting. We'll kind of see how the second week goes there in Portland, and for me, some people might not like it, but I like that golf course. I don't know if it's PGA Tour, but definitely when it comes to like cornferryweb.com back in the day, it was definitely one that I looked forward to. So we'll kind of see how it gets done in this team event. We'll see how it keeps going, because I think the teams are getting a little bit better and better. So it'll be exciting this week to see it.
Yeah, I didn't know they played the Corn Ferry. I know that obviously it's famous for the '96 US Am. That's where Tiger won against Steve Scott.
Yeah, it's normally typically the last event of the year. It was always their tour championship before the finals. Gotcha. And so I've been there a couple of times. The last time I think it was there was 2020. The last time they had it there, yeah. And believe it or not, I was there in 2020. So
yeah, well. Good old Hunter Mahan. Yeah.
No, I wasn't there with him. I was working for a buddy, Brett Stegmeyer, that week.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Stegmeyer.
Yeah. So
got out.
Yeah, he was working for him that week. So
interesting.
And then the last time I was there prior to that was in 2016.
Gotcha. Yeah. So. Pumpkin Ridge. I remember playing it in 2006 Tiger Woods Golf, and I always liked the layout there.
And the fun fact about that place too is that's where Nike is in that area, that Portland area. So typically, they let us go in the employee store and kind of get a discount and go get some Nike stuff.
Splurge out on some Nike gear. I like it.
Yeah.
As far as I guess the actual event and any winners, I'd put the link below, by the way, folks, if you want to look at that. Any thoughts on, you said the 4 aces, I believe, are favored to probably win as a team. I just had the individual odds. But any thoughts on a winner you want to pick?
I mean, I honestly think a guy like Brooks is excited to be there, and I think he's just going to show up and wreak havoc.
Prime to win, yeah.
It's almost like I told you so. I did made the right decision type of thing.
Yeah, he definitely feeds off of that. Patrick Reed, another guy. I mean, they all had a presser today.
Yeah.
Patrick Reed, Pat Perez, and Brooks Koepka. So I could see all three of those guys having something to prove this week.
Right.
Yeah. So Ian Poulter, another guy who plays with that sort of chip on his shoulder. The favorite is of course DJ, 66.5 to 1. As far as the odds, and the 4 aces, for those who are interested, who's on that team, it's DJ, Pat Perez, Taylor Gooch, and Patrick Reed. Talk about actual 4 the whole stable, a whole bullpen of golfers there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough for the winner of last time was the Stingers, basically the South African team, who I didn't say on the pod, but I was thinking that they were going to do very well. So I would think they're going to continue their dominance since the first event. But yeah, that's going to be interesting to watch up there in Portland. More and more names have joined along. Matthew Wolff, Carlos Ortiz, Abraham Answer, some of the recent names that popped in. The second ranked amateur from Texas has popped in there as well. So it's starting to fill up. It's starting to get more and more interesting. Get your popcorn ready, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. As far as the PGA Tour's response, like you said, they're going blow for blow. Thoughts on that? So I guess starting first, they changing up the way they qualify for the tour, and then also they looks like they bought a bigger stake in the European tour.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, all of it right now is, just it's not in stone, obviously officially, but it's exciting. Like I'm all about the 5 cards from Q School. I definitely like that part. So I think at the end of the day, like with everything going on, they're doing their part to match it and make people want to be on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, they're competing. I think it's for them a right step in the right direction. It is a little reactionary, I guess, is where people kind of I get tied with, and everything like are put them down. But again, I guess they had to do something, I suppose. I mean, I think even if they just stood pat with their thing, they would have been fine. But they want to compete, I guess is
right.
And the 5 cars from Q School, I think a lot of people were calling for that. Maybe even more is what people want. I mean, I've made how to make it in PGA Tour video that is very popular. I might have to make another one with all these changes. But yeah, that's one of the more interesting things. The 40% instead of 15% stake in the European Tour, DP World Tour, and it's like the top 10, I think, get in to get PGA Tour cards.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know. I know I saw the press conference between Jay Monahan and the DP World commish, and they're trying to convince.
It's still all early, so that's the thing. Is like you never, they can make changes at all. But yeah, definitely good ideas moving forward.
Yeah, it's a nice thought. I just, he was saying that we're not a feeder tour, but I mean, it does in that way. This is my opinion that it's like your top 10 get a PGA Tour card. It almost feels like, in my mind, they should just, like I was saying last week, basically have PGA Tour quality on both sides of the ocean, I guess you would say, and it just should be a PGA Tour win essentially. It should be co-sanctioned, European DP World Tour and PGA Tour win. But I'm sure I would think that's in the works, and this is probably a step in that direction. 30 people in the Korn Ferry Tour now get cards, so that's interesting as well. So a lot of moving pieces, like you said. There's not set in stone. This is going to keep changing. I'm not going to make that how do you get on the PGA Tour video just yet. I'm going to let things settle
until it's all in stone.
Yeah. So but it is interesting. A lot of news breaking always, pretty much weekly, with LIV going on and the PGA Tour's reaction to it and everything like that. So it's interesting for me as a fan, for us as a fan, to just kind of see.
Yeah.
Look, we get more golf, in my opinion. So I'm gonna probably watch both of them. I know some people won't, but there's probably a lot that will. I don't see why you wouldn't. I mean, they're both on, and you can easily catch the highlights on social media. So, stay tuned, I guess, fans out there. Any last things as far as how about stories from the John Deere or anything like that?
Again, good tournament. There's a place that a lot of us look forward to. This place called Whitey's. It's an ice cream place. And so definitely haven't had a chance to hit it up yet, but definitely will be there a couple times this week. So looking forward to that. That's definitely a spot that everybody loves to go to when they come here.
Hawaii, I'll have to, if I'm ever in the area. I don't know when I'll ever be, but if I ever am, I would go to Hawaii.
I think in like 2013 or 2014, they had like an article like it was voted the #1 ice cream spot in the States.
Oh wow, shit!
So definitely, so definitely, try to check it out this week.
Perfect on a sunny day, especially with the 4th of July weekend. So hey, go get off your barbecue, go get some ice cream, folks in the Quad City area. Maybe say hello to Derell and Grayson Murray while you're at it.
For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that's cool to know. Again, John Deere has always been just a nice homey tournament. I would got a very homey environment to it, and it's always been pretty much a staple in the PGA Tour. Might not be the biggest tournament, but it's always been there, a solid, stable tournament. But as far as anything else, Derell, PJ Live,
we are
and
good.
good to go. Yes,
Whatever. If you have anything.
No, not really. I've actually the only time I've ever been in like Illinois was, and I was in my mom's stomach. They travel. I had an aunt that lived there, and my mom lived there for a little bit in Chicago. So I don't have many experiences in that part of the country. So I have to pay a visit. I do know that the golf is good there, so definitely need to make a trip to the Midwest and experience all that it has to offer. I do know the First Tee has like some sort of John Deere event that they co-sanction with First Tee that First Tee kids go to. So that's pretty cool. Good to know for those who didn't know that. Yeah, I think we're all good to go. We're already set to watch John Deere and the LIV Golf event, the second event. But yeah, folks, you know what to do. Comment below. Who do you think's going to win in either event? What do you think of all this shenanigans going on? Thoughts on Sahith Theegala and Xander, that whole thing with the Travelers. Exciting times there. But yeah, you know what to do. Like, comment below, subscribe. You know that your words mean something to